Welcome to Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help educate you about narcissistic abuse because your feelings do matter. Hi, and welcome to another podcast of Narc Abuse No More with your host, Doctor and Evangelist K.O. Rich. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is Monday. Yes, it is Monday, April the 10th of 2023. I pray that you've had a blessed, stress-free, narcissistic free, abuse free week so far, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be so as well. But if not, we're going to be talking about a few things today. Again, my name is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's podcast, I'd like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org. And on the website, you can find valuable information regarding narcissism, relationships, and if you have missed any of these podcasts that we bring to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can go directly to our website and listen to us from there. Now, just to let you know, again, we are on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central, and that is on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, Castbox, and Deezer. We're also on Amazon Audible, Rumble, Brighteon, and the Tube. That's right, we are on YouTube. But if all else fails, you can go directly to our website again at www.narcabusenomore.org. Also, you can go on there and submit me your email if you would like to give me some information about what's going on in your life. I've had many people email me over the years and tell me that they have gotten out of abusive relationships. They are thriving now. They told me, different things that's going on in their relationships and things that they would like for me to talk about. So if there's something that you want me to talk about, then send me a note. www.narcabusenomore.org. And I also have another email. You can go to narcissistic-personality@gmail.com. I believe that's my email address. I'm going to go back and repeat that before the end of this podcast just to be sure that I'm giving you the right information. I believe it's, narcissistic abuse no more. Narcissistic abuse no more @gmail.com. But I'm gonna just make sure before the end of this podcast that I'm giving you the right email address. But anyway, I pray that you all had a wonderful and blessed resurrection weekend. We know that Jesus came, died, rose again for us to have life and have it more abundantly. And therefore, you are entitled to not be abused. Why? Because Jesus took the whips for you. Okay, you don't have to allow anyone to abuse, misuse, or take advantage of you. And before we go on with today's podcast, I want to give you all the information to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The National Domestic Violence Hotline. If you or someone you know is going through abuse, please get help. There is help out there. Give them this information where it can help them. Speaking of which, please share these podcasts so it can help others and so they can get the valuable information that you are receiving on a daily or should I say tri-weekly basis when it comes to abuse and trying to get out of those abusive situations. Again, the National Domestic Violence Hotline information is www.thehotline.org. www.thehotline.org. You can also call them at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. TTY callers 1-800-787-3224. You can also chat live with them by texting word START, that's START, to 88788. Again, text the word START to 88788. They are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also get them by just waiting 15 minutes. They say you will not have to wait no longer than 15 minutes. And if you need to exit out right away, they have an exit button at the top in case someone comes that you do not want to know that you're trying to get help. All right, what are we talking about today? We're talking about tips for being more assertive. Tips for being more assertive. Now, many of you may have dealt with narcissists, and these narcissists, they love to walk all over you. They don't want you to have your own opinion, your own ideas. They want to take advantage of you. They want to manipulate and control. And you may have found yourself being this people pleaser where you're unable or have been incapable of standing up for yourself. So therefore, we're going to talk today about how to be more assertive. And it's important to be assertive, to practice assertiveness, because it's an effective part of communication that can help you be more confident in your everyday life. So what exactly is assertiveness? So being assertive means that you can confidently have the ability to communicate what you want or what you need and what you expect from others. This is an ability that will allow you to not be confrontational, okay? Because assertiveness doesn't mean that you have to be confrontational, but it's kind of between being aggressive and being passive. So it's that middle ground, that balance, that's saying that, you know what, I'm not going to be aggressive, and at the same time, I'm not someone that's going to be walked all over as well. You have to effectively, in order to effectively communicate, you have to express what it is that you want. So there are benefits as to being assertive, and we're going to talk about that and tips on how to be assertive. And as always, I love to give you a valuable website where you can get this valuable information that we are giving to you today. Today is coming from www.masterclass.com, www.masterclass.com. All right, so what are the benefits of being assertive? If you have been this person that has been used or misused by narcissists, you will find that you were not possibly exercising your rights to be assertive, okay? And in order to communicate what it is you want, you must be assertive. So number one of the benefits of being assertive is it helps you to build self-confidence. No one likes to be a walking mat. At least most of us don't. We don't want to be a walking mat. So when you have the ability to stand up for yourself, it makes you have confidence, and it helps you to be open and being able to communicate and be honest with others. You can't just assume that people know what you want, need, like, or in other words, what you're not going to accept as well. So regardless of who it is, it could be a coworker, a friend, a boss, whatever the case may be, your feelings do matter. So therefore, it's okay to express them. Being assertive helps you to build your sense of self-worth and learn to communicate what it is that you need. So when you're dealing with toxic individuals, narcissists, abusive individuals, you have to let them know, hey, this is not acceptable. I am not going to tolerate this. I'm not going to accept this. And this also helps you to be able to create those boundaries, because we all need boundaries. And as I often say on this podcast, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow them to do to you. And when someone keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and you're unhappy with it, guess what? You have to be assertive and say, this is not acceptable. I don't like it. It's not going to keep happening. That is not being me. One thing that narcissists would do, they will try to make you feel as if you're wrong for being assertive, as if you're wrong for communicating what you will and will not accept, what you need and what you do not want or do not need. And that is your right to say or communicate, this is what I want out of this relationship. This is what I don't want out of this relationship. This is what I need in this relationship. This is what I don't need in this relationship. This is what I'm going to accept. And this is what I'm no longer going to put up with. And that is not being mean. It is being assertive. Number 2, another benefit of being assertive is it gives you great leadership. Okay, great leadership trait. It is a leadership trait. It is a trait that all leaders have to be able to be upfront, to be direct in order to be able to even delegate tasks. And this is even in your home. You might say, well, you know what, I'm not needing this on the job, but you need it in your personal life as well as your professional life. So in order to be able to benefit from this, you have to be able to be assertive and say, you know what, I'm leading out in my home. So therefore, there are times when I have to be assertive, because sometimes when you're dealing with toxic individuals, abusive individuals, they will try to take advantage and run all over you. And you have to stand up for yourself as the leader that you're capable of being. Number 3, assertive people are less stressed. This is a benefit of being assertive, because you tell someone that, hey, I'm not going to allow this, or this is what is beneficial for me. And so therefore it creates less stress. How many of you have been stressed out because someone is trying to put more on you than what you can handle? They're not taking up their own cross. They're not putting in the work. They're expecting you to do everything. And so therefore you are stressed if you don't be assertive. So you have to stand up and say, no, this is not acceptable. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm willing to do. This is what I'm not going to take. It causes you to be less stressed when you say, you know what, I'm going to communicate this, and whether this person change or whether they don't, they're going to know where I stand. And then you decide how much or how less you want to take. Number 4, assertiveness is an effective communication style. The ability to let other people know what you need and where you stand helps to build open relationships, all right? Honest relationships. And those who cannot appreciate you being assertive, guess what? They don't need to be in your life. If they cannot value you, if they cannot appreciate you, if they try to be abusive, toxic, whatever the case may be, you have the right to stand up for your rights. And the only way you can do that is by communication. So assertiveness is an effective communication style. Number 5, being assertive helps you get what you need. It helps you to get what you need. When you remain quiet and you don't say what it is you need in this relationship, then it allows the other person to be able to use you, abuse you. They feel as if they can walk all over you. They feel as if, hey, if you're not going to speak up, then I can do anything and everything that I want to do to this individual. Speaking up is not being mean. It's saying that, hey, you know what? I got to let this person know what it is that I need out of this relationship, because trust me, the narcissist is always looking out for themselves. The narcissist will look out for themselves and ignore your emotional needs. They will ignore your feelings. They don't want to validate who you are. They don't want to validate your feelings because they feel as if your feelings don't matter. It's only about them. At the end of the day, the narcissist is self-centered and it's all about them at the expense of anyone who is around them. So therefore, you have to stand up for what it is that you need. Now, we're about to go into 10 tips for being more assertive. How can you be more assertive? Okay, because this is so important. You will feel better as an individual when you are able to be more assertive. So number 1, one thing that is so important when becoming more assertive is you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Low self-esteem will keep you from speaking up, telling others what you need, what you want, what you will not accept. And oftentimes when you're dealing with an abuser of any type, whether it's emotional, physical, sexual, spiritual, financial, whatever case may be, they often tend to prey on those, P-R-E-Y, to prey on those whom they feel have low self-esteem or will not speak up. Narcissists like to control. They love to, again, abuse and misuse. And abuse is not always physical. Narcissists are the kings and queens of emotional abuse, verbal abuse, spiritual abuse. Every type of abuse is not ending with a blue or black eye. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to understand where your value is. Spend time understanding what it is that you need, what you want. Don't worry about what other people are saying or thinking. One thing that narcissists love to do is they love to make you feel as if everybody's in agreement with them. Okay, this is called triangulation. Think of it as a triangle. The narcissist is at the top. Okay, you have you as the individual to the right, and then these other people whom they want to be their flying monkeys, okay, aka enablers, on the left. They want you to feel as if everybody shares their view. Most of the time, these people don't even know what they're talking about and don't even know that they're the topic of conversation half the time. But they want you to feel as if you're the one that's always in the wrong, and everybody is on their side. That is a form of manipulation that is in the tool of the narcissist. That's in their arsenal. All right, they use these type of tools of manipulation and put it in their arsenal to pull out later. So don't worry about the opinions of others, because half the time if you're hearing it from a narcissist, it's normally a lie. Being assertive, it helps you to have that self-respect, and it also makes you feel good about yourself to stand up and say, no, this is not what I need, what I want, what I will allow, and be able to say no. Number 2, which takes us into our next one, you learn how to say no. If you have been a people pleaser and you always trying to please the other person, you're dealing with this narcissist, you're dealing with this toxic individual, this abusive individual, and you're often reluctant to say no because you feel like it's going to start an argument, or you have to say yes because it'll create an inconvenience to them. But what about you? This is not being selfish. This is saying that, you know what, when you're dealing with toxic individuals, they do not care about your feelings. They only care about their own. Therefore, they are unempathetic to your needs. So therefore, you have to learn to say no. It's okay to say no. You may have a lot on your plate already, and this person has this sense of self-entitlement. Hey, let them entitle themselves, okay? Do it themselves. However, you can say no. There's nothing wrong with saying no. If you know that something is too much, too hard, impossible for you to do, or you're not feeling right about it, learn to say no. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Out of the shadows, bound for the gallows, a dead man walking, till love came calling. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. 6 feet under, I thought it was over, and answered a prayer, the voice of a savior. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. Only at once. Yeah, I'm the one who dug this grave, but you called my name. You called my name. I thought that I was too far gone for everything I've done wrong. Yeah, I'm the one who dug this grave, but you called my name. You called my name. Holy ones, I came alive. This beating heart, these open eyes, the golden door, the darkness should have known. You're still rolling stone. Oh, you're still rolling stone. Oh, you're still rolling stone. Oh, you're still rolling stone. You're still rolling, rolling. You're still rolling, rolling. You're still rolling, rolling. You're still rolling stone.
Lauren Daigle, Still Rolling Stones. All right, we're still talking about tips to be assertive and the importance of being assertive. Number 3, start small. If you are having trouble with finding your assertiveness, your assertive voice, then begin with small things. Let people know what it is that you need. If you go to the doctor and it's something that the doctor says that you don't maybe want in your particular case, then say, okay, no, this is not wouldn't be for me. I would prefer this. Or if you go and you go shopping and the agent, the cashier says, oh, do you want to sign up for this particular credit card? And you say, no, thank you. I do not want a credit card. And you can say no. A lot of times I go to different stores and they will say, oh, do you want a credit card with this night? And I say, no, thank you. I keep my credit good by not dealing with the credit cards. And so just start off with little small things that you can begin to practice every day by putting yourself first. And this is not saying in a selfish manner, right? I'm talking to those who have been used to people pleasing so much that is always, you never say yes to yourself. It's always no to yourself and yes to everyone else. Well, practice saying yes to yourself and sometimes no to others. And even if that person doesn't like it, that's okay. It doesn't matter, because those who love and care about you will still love and care about you even when you have to say no. Number 4, practice your assertive skills. Practice what you're going to say. If you know that there are issues that's going on between you and someone else, will practice what it is that you're going to say to them. Again, we're not talking about being confrontational. We're talking about just asserting your rights, okay? Saying what it is that you need, that you want, that you desire out of whatever relationship you may be needing to do this for. And assertiveness is good to just practice, because sometimes people will try to force their will onto you, and you can just absolutely declare no, and no. Number 5, be simple and direct. Okay, don't lead them to be able to misinterpret what it is. Assertiveness is effective when you get straight to the point. Tell that person how you feel. Again, don't do it as accusational. When you're talking to someone, you want to say, well, I feel, or I think, or this is how it makes me feel, instead of the attack mode, you this and you that, or whatever the case may be. Now, there comes a time when you have to let the person know, no, this is unacceptable because you are doing X, Y, and Z. That has its place. But when you're not trying to be confrontational, start off with, I feel or I think or whatever the case may be. Now, when you're dealing with a narcissist, expect them to take anything that you say out of proportion. All right. Anything that doesn't go their way, they're going to accuse you of lying on them. They're going to accuse you of starting trouble. They're going to accuse you of being selfish. All right. Because at the end of the day, that's all of their traits, not yours, but theirs. So expect them to be even somewhat confrontational when you decide to be assertive. And that's okay. You stand your ground. This is like Florida. Stand your ground. You do not have to bow to the whims of the narcissist that acts like a 2-year-old in an adult's body. Stand your ground. Number 6, leave the negative emotions out of it. All right. So just stay calm. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be defensive. You could stand your ground with people and you're not even mad. You let them get mad, but you're not even mad. You just say, you know what, it is what it is. Okay, I'm standing my ground on this particular subject or this particular issue because this is what I feel, this is what I think, and this is how I want to operate. So therefore, do not allow anyone to make you feel as if you are doing something wrong because you're standing your ground. Leave your emotions out of it. You can be assertive with someone and not be angry. That's the thing. They see the narcissist, the toxic individual, the abuser, they want you to get angry. But you can stand your ground and not be angry at all. You just say, no, this is not happening. No, this is unacceptable. No, I will not accept this. No, you cannot do this. No, this is where I feel, this is where I stand. And you can stand your ground and not even be angry. Number 7. Remember your body language. Remember that you can communicate with others oftentimes by your body language, or your tone or your facial expression contributes to what your message is. You don't have to be angry. Again, your face could be neutral. Practice that in the mirror, talking confidently, eye contact, without having to be angry. And one thing to be careful of, the narcissist will try to push your buttons, and don't allow them to push your buttons. But you can be assertive with someone and you can go toe to toe with them and you don't have to be angry. Don't allow them to get you angry, because what they want to do is they want to get a rise out of you. And then as soon as they get that rise out of you, then they want to point fingers. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is who you are. See, blah, blah, blah. All right. No, stand your ground. You don't have to get angry. You don't have to be mad. Just stand. You refuse to bow down to their whims. See, when you're dealing with abusers, they can't handle that. They want to make you bow. They want to make you bend to their will. They want to be able to manipulate and control. Narcissists, at the end of the day, they're all about control. And one thing, when you're dealing with narcissists, don't think that they will always have every single trait that we often talk about on here. It's just like a common cold. All right. Colds you may have some runny nose. Some people have colds and they don't have runny nose. Some people have coughing. Everybody don't cough. Everybody doesn't have a coughing if they got a cold. They may have a lot of the traits, but they may not display every single one. But the thing is to know what, this is why we talk about narcissism. Know what the traits are. We talk about abuse. Know what abusers are. We talk about whether it's emotional abuse, because everyone that is an abuser, they may not display every single trait of abuse for us: financial, spiritual. You have some abusers and they will buy you the world, but they're still emotional abusers. Know the difference and know how to separate things. And just because a narcissist will love bomb you, we've talked about love bombing, doesn't mean that they're not an abuser. How many times do you have when you talk about physical abuse? A lot of people, if you ask, I'm going to say women, ask women that had domestic abusers, a lot of times their abusers bought them things. They bought them all kind of things, whether it was cars, houses. This is why abuse does not discriminate, because you have those that are of a variety of different educational levels, those that are economically sound, those that, whether they have money or don't. But oftentimes the abusers bought them things. And what we call love bomb is that they will do acts of kindness and then at the end of it still be abusing. They do that because they feel like they can suck you in by their acts of kindness and at the same time still abuse you. Let me just say this: you are not a prostitute. You do not deserve to be abused, misused, mishandled just because someone feel like they did an act of kindness. You have to be assertive and say, no, I will not accept this. This is unacceptable. I am still a human being. Therefore, you don't get to treat me any kind of way just because you do an act of kindness or you decide to love bomb that individual. The terminology love bomb, remember, the love part is the act of kindness. The bomb is what you get at the end of it, because they feel that at the end of the day that they can use, abuse, misuse you because they've love bombed you, and no, it is unacceptable. All right, we're going to take another quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I'm held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I'm held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You
concluding our podcast on dealing with being assertive. Number 8, understand the other point of view. A key a key ingredient of assertiveness is the ability to say what you need while also being empathetic to the needs of others. And this is what often differentiates between those who are narcissists and those who are not. Narcissists are not empathetic. They mimic. Okay, they mimic empathy, but they are very unempathetic when it comes to others. However, you as a feeling individual, you can understand the needs of others and still be assertive. You can respect others, but you don't have to allow someone to overpower you or control you just because they're trying to ignore your needs. Be empathetic, but at the same time, you can still be assertive. Number 9, keep it positive. When you're dealing with communicating with others, it is always good to do so positively. Don't procrastinate. Deal with the situation head on, but at the same time, you can be, again, not aggressive and not passive, but being assertive in communicating whatever it is that you need. Last but not least, stand your ground. When you are dealing with those that are abusive, they expect you to bow. They expect you to not to stand your ground. They expect you to walk on eggshells. And the thing is, the narcissist you can give as good as they get, okay? Or should I say, they are able to dish it out, so therefore they can take it. You stand your ground. Again, this is not saying that you have to be mean, but you be assertive. And when you're dealing with these narcissists or abusers or toxic individuals, they are very strong in their opinions and their will to overpower other people. So therefore, you have to be just as strong, not aggressive, not passive. But the assertiveness is the middle ground to say, no, you will not use me, you will not abuse me, you will not talk to me any kind of way, you will not do these things to me. I'm saying no, absolutely not. And one thing that is important is when you have been used to being that people pleaser, don't allow someone to back you into a corner for us trying to over explain why you said no or why you took a certain position. Again, one thing the narcissists or those who are abusers will love to do, they love to back you into a corner where you're trying to fight your way out. You don't have to explain anything to them. If you just say no about something, then that's no. That's the end of it. You decide whatever you want to divulge, but don't allow someone to back you into a corner where you're having to explain your way out of that situation. All right. We are up out of here. I pray that today's podcast has been a blessing to you and that you would know, guess what? Your feelings, they do matter. This is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Until next time.